good evening. This is Ubuntu channel, and welcome to it. Tonight, we are again on your program called Meet Your Leaders. And to actually have a discussion right here, I have my co-presenter or my co-host by the name Lance Sani Banda. And our guest tonight, or before we get to our guest, let me welcome Lance. Lance, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening to the guest and good evening to the viewers too. It's a lovely Wednesday. How have you been?
I've been pretty fine. How have you been yourself?
Well, I've been okay and pushing here and there. It's another lovely Wednesday evening, and we're here to make sure that we link leaders into, to the people that are watching, to our lovely viewers. At least they get to meet leaders right here, as the name of the program is on Meet Your Leaders.
Beautiful. And right with us, we have, our guest by the name Ian Banda, who is actually, the founder or director of Youth in Action for Disability Inclusion in Zambia, YADIZ. Mr. Banda, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza, and good evening, Lance, and good evening to all the listeners, and thanks for hosting me.
Beautiful. Would have loved to actually, see you in picture, but due to some, challenges here and there, we just have you in audio, which is, a plus on our side, unlike not having you at all. All right, Mr. Banda, first things first, probably the listeners or viewers out there would like, to know more about, Mr. Ian Banda, who is actually, founder and director of YADIS. Kindly tell us about yourself. We want to know more about yourself. Who is Mr. Ian Banda?
Okay, thank you so much, Chaza. Mr. Ian Banda is a youth with a disability, age 30. I am the founder and director of Youth in Action for Disability Inclusion. YADIS is a baby organization that was formed in 20th March 2020. Myself, I started my disability advocacy work journey in 2015 with the support of the Zambia Association of Parents of Children with Disabilities and Disability Rights Watch. I continued my disability advocacy journey, where I even had an opportunity to go to the US under the Mandela Washington Fellowship. That was in 2017, where I went to start public management. In 2018, through my disability advocacy journey, I managed to go to UK in London under Leonard Cheshire, where I was trained on community reporting on how to write stories on disability issues. In 2017, I wanted to engage myself more in terms of leadership and political participation, where I went to South Africa to Unisa College. That's where I did civic leadership, because I wanted to have more knowledge on the political participation for persons with disabilities to participate in politics and governance. Yeah.
Beautiful. And, that introduction about yourself is also an introduction on the topic that we have, tonight. And the topic that we do have is promoting politics and public life for persons with disabilities. Having, that highlight that, our guest is, a physically challenged person. We want to know how they are, sinking in society and also political wise. So, Mr. Banda, let me find out, from you, what are you trying to achieve? What is your objective as, an activist? What do you hope for?
Yeah, thank you. So as a youth disability rights advocate, I think my aim is to ensure that the rights of persons with disabilities are promoted on an equal basis for those without disabilities. I think for some time we have had the circumstances where persons with disabilities are categorized on a charity model, where we are regarded as people who just need to be helped, as people just need to be assisted, of which is not the case. And I'm trying to change that narrative in bringing persons with disabilities to be on the human rights based model, in ensuring that persons with disabilities are being uh, accounted on an equal basis for those without disabilities. In a human rights model, they are recognized on the human rights basis, on an equal basis with those without disabilities. Yeah.
Beautiful. Let me throw it to my colleague who has been silent for good minutes to take it up from there.
Well, thank you so much, Charles. Now, me and Mr. Banda date back, to times when he was with Zapid, he was with Cheshire Home, and we've done some advocacy together here and there, and some media coverages. However, Mr. Banda, with a long time, you have been advocating for people with disabilities to get recognized and also to participate in politics. Do you feel that you are receiving a desired inclusion and recognition as people living with disabilities to live a normal public life?
Thank you so much, Nancy. You agree with me that Zambia is a signatory of the Persons with Disabilities Act of number 6 of 2012, of which, when you look at the policy itself, on the political participation on Division 6, under the Persons with Disabilities Act, promotes the participation of persons with disabilities to participate in politics and governance. And I feel it is ideal because it is one of the ways that will change our narrative of thinking that persons with disabilities are only supposed to be led or only supposed to vote and not take leadership positions. It is also ideal that even the policy itself is very clear that persons with disabilities must be given different leadership positions and have rights to even contest, even to be members of parliament or councillors in this country, and of which in most of the uh, uh, political will per se, we do not have that section that promotes the participation of persons with disabilities to promote in politics and governance, and which has been the challenge because most of these political parties, they do not embrace issues of disability. I think it's one of the ways that we have been trying to push in educating different political parties and also helping in terms of their policy reforms in ensuring that it is mainstreaming issues of disability. And also in their planning and also in their leadership position to ensure that they have a focal point person with a disability who ensure that issues of disabilities in that in their political party manifestos and policies, persons with disabilities are represented on an equal basis for those without disabilities.
All right. Now, since you have mentioned, the Disability Act, which was enacted into law, the Act of 2021. Do you feel that this act support you receive enough support, or it shows enough support to the PWD's population when it comes to the bringing out of your rights, the right to education, the right to services, healthcare, etc., etc. Do you feel protected with this Disability Act?
I'll speak according to the Persons with Disabilities Act. Number one, we have noted with concern that since the existence of the policy, many institutions, our communities, even the people on the ground don't even understand what is involved, or even knowing that there's a policy that promotes and protects the rights of persons with disabilities, which is the Persons with Disabilities Act. So that has been the challenge, because even to looking at government institutions, we still have challenges that even some government institutions do not even have knowledge on issues of disability rights. So there has been less representation when it comes to issues of disability. Like for myself, I've started a small journey. I've started with my community, Kanyama, where I live, where I'm going around in schools, churches, markets, to ensure that people are educated on the rights of persons with disabilities, and make them aware that there's a policy that promotes and protects the rights of persons with disabilities. So there has been less representation. One, it has been noted with concerns that most of the institutions do not have knowledge on issues of disability rights.
Mr. Banda, it appears that, there's some kind of hindrance, even according to your explanations there, as regards participation in politics. What is causing, these hindrances? Why is it that, we do not have people with disabilities, participating in politics actively?
Thank you so much. Okay, I can hardly hear you, but I've gotten your last point. I think what is depriving persons with disabilities not to participate in different leadership positions. Number one is the denial of opportunities, and also there is no direct policy that will ensure that if a qualified person with a disability is suitable for that position which is available, they must take in that person with a disability. And also, because there has been too much issues of stigma and discrimination, I think it's one of the ways that hinder persons with disabilities to participate in these leadership positions. Like I'm earlier mentioning, there's no political will that supports persons with disabilities to participate in these different political party positions. And I feel that has been the challenge. Previously, I've been embarking on the Disability Rights Project in partnership with Women's Lobby, where we are trained on issues of politics and governance, and where we have been having meetings with different political parties to understand what they are doing in ensuring that they are promoting issues of disability. And we noted with concern that in these political parties, neither few or none of persons with disabilities are in their positions, which has been the challenge. To persons with disabilities also, we are trying by all means through awareness raising, training them on issues of disability, for them to understand that joining political parties and having position, leadership position in different institutions is a human rights issue. We are trying our best and ensuring that persons with disabilities even have the knowledge as they are entering in these leadership positions, or they are different political party of choice. They have a clear understanding on issues of leadership, issues of understand the mindset of their communities where they come from, issues of dealing with the how to solve challenges per se. To things that we are doing. However, with this stigma and discrimination, I think is what has been hindering persons with disabilities to participate in these leadership positions. We have had circumstances where a person with a disability will participate for a political office, either a councillor or MP. However, the opponent political parties who challenge them or based on their type of disability that they have. I'll give an example. Mr. Mtonga, when he was participating for Chasefu district, I think when we had our previous meeting with him, one of the challenges he mentioned was their opponent political party leader party that I cannot mention was decampaigning him, not based on his political party or idea, but based on his disability. Because him had a blind disability, has been using that excuse to the community by telling people to say, if you vote for a person who is blind, how is he going to see development? So you see, such things exist and it's real out there.
And having brought out the issue of blindness as a disability, what about participation in elections? Because I understand that in a democracy, even people with such a disability like blindness are supposed to actually actively participate in voting, for candidates of their choice. Unfortunately, we have lost it. That's a connectivity challenge there. We get to wait and see if we can quickly come back. Lance, my question, I'm sure you've gotten it. My concern is that, during elections, I have not seen, probably it's just me who has not seen, maybe it is there. Do we have Braille, ballot papers?
Well, in the last election, the ECZ tried to be as inclusive as possible, and yes, there was well, not really a Braille ballot paper, but I think it was just some assistance where you have somebody that assists you to say, oh, on number one you have this one, on number two you have this one. But anyway, however, our guest is back. Perhaps he's in a more competent position to respond to that. Mr. Banda, welcome back.
Silas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, the network is bad today. You seem to be breaking, but I can hear you with difficulties.
Are you getting us now?
Mr. Banda, how about now? Are you able to get me? Mr. Banda, are you able to get me?
Challenge there.
All right, maybe what we do, our director, let's go on a very short break as we get to try and bring back our guest or try to see how best we can deal with this connectivity issue. And to our dear viewers, remember that this is Meet Your Leaders on Ubuntu channel. It comes your way every Wednesday from 2030 going all the way up to 20.
Is a tradition that man, or indeed a human being, is born in. Naturally, we are born with Ubuntu. We live with it. We come into this world with that.
Ubuntu ninshila iyo abantu basendelamo ifyo umuntu afwiri okuba nefyo afwiri okuchita nefyo afwiri okwikaliramo Ubuntu.
Chitemiko, Ubuntu mutende.
Ubuntu nikukhala pamodzi. Ubuntu nikusamala. Ubuntu nikukondana.
The desire to contribute to positive changes within rural communities is my strong motivation to work hard for my society. For me, that is Ubuntu.
Ubuntu means humbleness. Ubuntu means humility. Ubuntu means love.
Ubuntu is I'm a person because of a person. I'm really a person. I'm who I am because of who we are.
What Ubuntu means to me is the ability to look at the need of others and be able to put yourself in their position, be able to do something about it.
We're going to be offering some of our viewers more content. And apart from more content, we are going to expect our viewers to be participating more. And then we want also our viewers to also like our channel.
Yes. And they should like it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. And not to forget that our content is reliable. It's not fake news. We do not have fake news on this channel.
Of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay. Since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment in the chat.
Yes. I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
no, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Right, welcome back. Still right here on Meet Your Leaders, and we've got a connectivity challenge, but I believe that our guest is back with us. Mr. Banda, are you there? Mr. Banda?
Mr. Banda, are you able to hear us?
It appears he's still
Mr. Banda.
there.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Banda. And he has totally been disconnected there. We are still hoping, and we do hope that he'll come back, as early as possible, so that we get to look at, these serious issues to do with, politics, participation, and so on and so forth, as regards, people living with disabilities. Lance.
Yeah, definitely. We hope that he gets to come back. But hey, our dear viewers, remember that this evening. All right, so this evening we have Ian Banda, who is founder and director of Youth in Action for Disability Inclusion in Zambia. Simply put, YADIS. And our topic of discussion this evening is promoting politics and public life with disabilities. Mr. Banda, are you able to hear us now?
Yes, better. Yeah, sorry, the network is cutting today. Yeah, but I'm back. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
All right,
Charles,
welcome back. Thank you so much, and welcome back, Mr. Banda. Before you were disconnected, I was trying to, find out from you how, inclusive, you are as people living with disabilities when it comes to, elections. And I was contemplating, a blind person going to vote there. How incorporated, how included are they when it comes to, elections?
No. Mr. Chaza, are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, I can get you clearly.
Yeah, I don't know on my side, but you seem to be breaking. So just repeat the question again.
Okay, are you getting me now?
Oh no.
Maybe I'll ask Lance to just ask on my behalf this question.
Oh no, I cannot hear.
Okay, are you able to hear me, Mr. Banda?
He has gone.
Mr. Banda, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can get you,
yeah.
Lance.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, I was saying that I was trying to encourage our viewers, if they can join us shortly in the studio as we get to share the studio link so that they can come through and, get to add a voice to what we are talking about and, get to participate or contribute on our topic of discussion this evening, which is promoting politics and public life for persons with disabilities. And of course, our guest is none other than Yadi's director and founder, that is Ian Banda. All right. So coming back to the question that you asked, Chaza, or which you're trying to get from Mr. Banda. I also at some point had an interaction with Mr. Mtonga, who participated as a member of parliament in Chasefu constituency. It's so shocking what he revealed on how different political parties, he stood on a certain political party ticket, but his opponents from another or other political parties were using his blindness against him. Whenever he gets on a podium, they will mock him to say how, like Mr. Banda said, how will he see development? How can you choose somebody who is not seeing anything to lead you? It's like getting a blind person to lead another blind person when they both fall in a ditch. All these sentiments were made by his opponents. So they went more for character assassination instead of, trying to deal with the issue of them spelling out what developmental projects that they have for the constituency and how they hope to change the face of Chasefu. So unfortunately, that was happening, and you would find that even if when he lodged a complaint with ECZ to say there was such which was happening, ECZ somehow, somewhere was toothless. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't act on all these complaints that Mr. Mtonga had raised. So you find that discrimination is very, very, very high, not only in our society, but even in the political sector, in the political sphere. And hence the reason why Center for Young Leaders in Africa, the Zambian chapter, they are busy advocating for what they are calling a mixed member electoral system, because they feel and believe that this is a system that will deliberately allow different political players to take part in an election, and if any sort of malice or discrimination happens, that is going to be liable, to either a disqualification from the race or any other punishment that can be given. We seem to have our guest back. Mr. Banda, good evening. Welcome back. Are you able to hear us?
Oh, no. He's cut already. It's been cut out already.
Okay. Yeah, this is quite serious. But anyway, these are the issues that are happening, Chaza. And like you asked on the issue of Braille, it's very hard that you would find a Braille, not only Braille ballot paper, but even just these newsletters that ECZ does. How do they communicate? how do they communicate to people or persons living with disabilities? There are others that maybe their disability is they can't walk, they're using a wheelchair. How do they make sure that they reach out to these people that are using wheelchairs? Are there buildings accessible to people that are moving with a wheelchair? Do they have ramps in their buildings for people with wheelchairs to attend, to easily access that facility or those buildings, and then also we have people that are deaf, others are dumb or mute, all these, they also have to participate in civic duties. But how does ECZ communicate with them? What kind of communication do they use for many for quite a number of information to reach persons with disabilities? So there's a whole lot that you can ask, and only if we take interest can we know what is happening in the world of persons living with disabilities. Mr. Banda, are you back? Are you able to hear us? Okay, maybe director, let's kindly go on a short break, and then we'll be back on the other side as we deal with this issue. Let's kindly go on a short break.
Of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment in the just.
Yes, I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
no, let me finish my point so that my brother can begin.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Kisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And in as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time twaje ku Malabo. What's the first game twale tena wa Senegal. I think valitita sana underrated because even the home up, you can see the way they are doing home up. Bale munakati bora na wawina kale nyoko.
Oh, I think it's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem. Who to replace when one is injured?
I think the names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I welcomed them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
Welcome back, and it's unfortunate that our guest has had problems to really stay right here on the interview. Let's attempt. Maybe we have him this time around. Mr. Banda, are you there? Mr. Banda?
Chaza, he's with us. He's unable to hear us, but he will be able to respond to the questions as we have discussed. So if you can go ahead with the question, and then he will be able to respond.
Okay. My concern was, the elections, participation in the elections. I wanted to find out if, people living with disabilities are actually, incorporated or included as regards participation in elections. For example, the blind. Do we have, braille ballot papers? Especially the most recent elections that we had, 2021. How has it been with people living, with disabilities? Would like to really know that aspect, and the treatment that the public has, towards people with disabilities. Okay, Lance, are you there?
Yes, Chaza, I am here.
Okay, so I'm sure our guest is probably looking at that question. Unfortunately, he's been ejected once again. All right, Lance, now we are the two of us as we are waiting for the guest. What's your knowledge? How has it been, in terms of Braille? I've heard that, yes, indeed, the government brought an initiative of, providing Braille ballot papers. But I do not have a confirmation. Did you hear anything about this?
Chaza, that would be a lie of a century if we can say that 2021 elections had are you able to hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
It would be a lie of a century if we say that ECZ provided Braille, for persons with disabilities, especially those with vision impairment. That is a total lie. What I witnessed or what I saw was, there should be somebody to assist a vision impaired man into the voting booth. As much as they say your vote is your right and it's a secret, it's not so for people with disabilities, especially those with vision impairment. Their vote is never a secret because there has to be somebody there to to tell them, oh, on number one you have person A from political party A, on number two you have person B from political party B, and then they tell you, okay, I'm going for person D from political party D, or the one who is standing on independent, can you do for me? Okay, their vote is not a secret because government has not provided, in fact, not government, but ECZ has not provided Braille for them to properly read and understand which candidate they want. Okay, so that has never been done. That has not been done. Instead, they only assist them with somebody who will assist in telling them who is on number one, which party symbol is it, and which party they're coming from. If they're independent, and everything like that. Mr. Banda, are you able to get us now? Okay. We seem this problem seem to be bigger than us.
Oh yes, yes indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying
we'll have no option but probably to invite him even on another day to address some of the issues that we have and have not been addressed.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that would be the way forward or the way to go. But anyway, however, the program still continues, and Director, if you can share the link with everybody on our platforms, please share the link, and let's get to have people or our viewers join us into the studio as we are discussing what we are discussing this evening. Of course, talking about promoting politics and public life for persons with disabilities. How is this achievable? Is it achievable to promote political and public life for persons with disabilities? We would love to know if you have an experience of how you have seen persons with disabilities being treated in their public life, as well as maybe if they want to participate in elections or in taking part in electoral process. You can get to come through into the studio, share with us, or be with us, and we'll be glad to hear from you. Now, Chaza, moving away from politics, moving away from politics, and maybe probably just coming to public life of persons living with disabilities. Time and again, we have heard and seen reports of people hiding their children in the house, or because they have a disability, or because they have a disability of some sort. So sapeza nje mwana bamuchita isolate kulipoenda osowera na banzake, na ku skulu kulipoenda mwana just because alina disability, kuyopa osekewa okapena kuyopa kuitaniwa names. This society of ours, it's a lost society that does not seem to want to grow a person, but rather they want to laugh at a person and make you regret whatever it is that you have, which can be regrettable at some point. So I think if I heard rightly or correctly, Mr. Banda mentioned the issue of he has taken an initiative to go around schools in Kanyama constituency to try and educate or sensitize the people on the need to embrace persons with disabilities, or simply put, PWDs. All right. This is a good move that he has taken, which hopefully, or which would be a great thing if not only Yadiz and him have taken this adventure or venture, but also if we had other institutions, NGOs that look at the plight of PWDs can also take up this mantle and go around different communities to educate young ones, to educate the young people whilst they are still young, whilst their minds are still fresh. Educate them about the need of inclusiveness. Let them know how to embrace PWDs. It's very sad, Chaza, that even on the perspective of our government, they never think of PWDs. These road infrastructures that you see, I don't think I've ever seen a road infrastructure that has a section where a PWD can use, especially somebody who is using a wheelchair. I've never seen that provision on our roads or in our roads. I don't know, you will correct me if you've seen any. These parking lots or parking slots, it's rare that you find there's a parking space for PWDs, Sometimes it may be there, but due to negligence, somebody would want to go and park their vehicle there. When there's, they've seen there's a sign, there's a post that shows that upon parking our wheelchair, but even the parking a paper just because sana pese parking space kwinangu. So this, the discrimination against PWDs, or if we are to see on how we can best promote PWDs to feel like they are part of the society, they are part of the country, they are part of a community that they come from, it needs to start from us. It needs to start from an individual. It should come from a household level where I need to see a person who is blind, I see a person who is moving with a wheelchair as a brother, as a sister, as a mother, or as a father, and get to embrace them. Mr. Banda, are you able to hear us now? Mr. Banda, are you able to hear us?
Yes, Mr. Lance, are you able to hear me?
Wow.
Yes, we can get you now.
Okay, yeah, try to speak. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it's my phone or what, but you are totally breaking. I didn't even hear anything.
Are you getting us now? Unfortunately, it looks like he's still struggling there. So, Lance, I'd like to agree with you that, in contemplation, even, many a times when laws are being enacted, but consideration is not, done as regards, people with disabilities. So much that, there's little or no, representation. So when you ask me, I think it starts even in parliament. Because in parliament, if we do not have, people with disabilities, the laws that will be enacted most probably will exclude people with disabilities. But if we have them in parliament, each time they are enacting, laws, in contemplation, there will be people with, disabilities such that they would be included. So if we have a seat, 1, 2, or 3 seats for people with disabilities, I think this can help. And, bringing it to society, how society also treats people with disabilities. I must believe that, when we nurture the children as they are young, then they are likely to grasp and learn how to treat certain people, certain things in society. So if, some topics or subject matter in, the subjects that they are learning at school, if we can bring in, information, education about people with disabilities, how do we treat them, as people who are differently abled? How do we treat others that are, disabled? So this, if it can be incorporated, in the curriculum, I think this can actually help also.
Definitely, it can help. I think there is need, to look at how best we can make everyone inclusive, especially when we're looking at this issue of PWDs, because just enacting an act of an act of PWDs or disabilities of 2021, that is not enough, because as much as, yes, that act may be there and it has provisions that can put there on the inclusiveness or how we can include people with disabilities, there is also need for this act to get put out to the society or to the different communities, so that they too can also understand that people or persons with disabilities, these are human beings that should enjoy human rights, that have the same human rights that me, who is an able-bodied person, also enjoy. They are the same rights that this person enjoy, and therefore they must be included and not secluded. So this, yes, must start in schools, curriculum for embracing, or maybe on how we can coexist together with persons with disabilities, and also looking at different ways on how do we make it better, or how do we stop demonizing other people just because they look different from us, when they are actually of no difference. Okay, this is just an unfortunate circumstance that happened, and they found themselves in that situation. So instead of embracing them, why do we go about and segregating them, making them feel as if they are less of a human being or less of a person? There's really need much. There's really much needed to be done to see to it that PWDs are part of, you know, a nation that embraces one another. They also enjoy same rights that we enjoy, Chaza.
Yeah, you are very right. And I remember you posed a question, you know, as regards to some people that would rather hide, you know, their child or relative that, you know, has been born with a disability, or maybe along the way they become disabled. And you know, it's a matter of education, a matter of sensitization. In society, there's no or little knowledge about you know, people with disabilities. Just like I was saying regarding you know, how we can treat them if we find ourselves you know, among those that are disabled. It could be even in a family or anything like that. So if we do have that knowledge and get to understand that you know, people with disabilities have not decided to find themselves, you know, in that situation. And we also get to understand that there are things that we can change as human beings, and there are things that we cannot change. So in a family, if a person with a disability has been born, they need to be embraced. They need to be accepted, because that is the way they are. You know, if maybe it's a workplace, you are found with a person with a disability, or anywhere else, maybe a shopping mall or any other person, there's a person with a disability. How do we treat them? We need to accept them, because they cannot change themselves in the state in which they are, and we cannot also change them. All we need to do is actually to coexist. We need to accept them. We need to embrace them. Then like that, I think we cannot even actually, you know, hide a child born with a disability or a child found in a family with a disability. That's what I think. Lance, are you there?
Anyway, yes. I'm here.
Okay.
I was trying to reminisce, but then I thought we might disseminate everything that Mr. Banda is supposed to talk about, because first of all, we apologize to you, our dear viewers, that we had to lose our guest like that, but we do appreciate that you've been following the program, and also we do appreciate the fact that you are still with us, even as we have been trying to bring back the guest. But again, we do promise you that next week Wednesday, through you, Chaza, though, next week Wednesday, we get to bring him back and you know, continue this conversation, because we didn't even touch anything. We were just on the surface.
Indeed, exactly. Okay,
yeah,
so Lance, you may proceed. I'm getting you.
All right, so obviously it's closing the show. It's
just before we get to close again, I would like to agree with you. You talked about you know, the existence of laws, that laws may be enacted, but if we do not have you know, the will, especially the political will, to actually come up with you know, policies, initiate them, and ensure that those policies are implemented. If that is not done, you know, a book or a statute, an act of parliament will be there on the shelves. I totally agree with you, because this you know, act, the 2021 Act, is actually a repeal of the 1996 Act. So meaning that laws have been there, but policies have not actually been you know, implemented. And so if we do have representation of people with disabilities, sensitization plus education, then we are going to have, this issue actually gotten rid of. We can close now.
Definitely. Well, I thought after doing the closing remarks, you were going to say bye-bye.
Okay, if you allow me to do so, I thought you could have a thought that I could have cut short. Having said so, then we come to a close of, the program. And just like Lance indicated, next week, we'll definitely get to bring our guest back so that, these perceptions that we do have and presumptions may actually, be looked into, and questions also be answered right here on the program. Otherwise, from myself, Chaza, and Lance, we are saying thank you so much for sticking around. Listeners out there and also viewers out there, we greatly appreciate. Do remember that Meet Your Leaders is a program that comes every Wednesday right here at 20:30 Central African Time on Ubuntu channel. Till then, God bless you all.